sort of in a dilemma or situation, problem, if you will. And I don't I don't really know how to go about this situation. Hopefully y'all can give me some advice in the comment section. Hopefully y'all have experienced something. Some of y'all has experienced something like this before or currently going through something like this. So look, this was going on. I'm not going to say no names because I don't know if she watches my videos. But my co-worker, right? She has a boyfriend, right, who she loves, right? Or at least that's what she says, right? But then, like over the past couple months, we slowly started to connect. We started to feel each other, not like that, right? But like on an emotional level, like or like something like that. Like, you know, we're talking more and we're getting closer than what we already like than what we were before, right? And when she was talking to me in person one night, she hit me with, and I don't know if this is, no, I'm not even gonna do that, right? But she hit me with something. She did something, and I thought that was only in the movies, the action that she did. So I'm like, oh shit, right? So my question is, A, do I just leave her alone and just let her be with her man? Because I'm definitely not going to be no side piece, right? If I'm in a relationship, any kind of relationship, I'm going to be the main, first and foremost, right? I'm going to be the main. That's it. No questions asked, period. Or B, do I get in the way of it? I feel like if I get in the way of it, I don't want to mess up nobody's relationship. But yo, she cute and she fine as hell. We're getting closer though. Like, I don't really know what to do. I am going to enjoy this popcorn though, so that's, you know, obviously. Anybody that has seen Atypical season 2, obviously. Alright, let's go. Y'all, if she didn't have no boyfriend, I would have, we already been in a relationship. Already. That's how much we're feeling each other. Just saying. Alright, let's go. Sup? No. I feel like one day I'm gonna have that image in my head. I still don't know how to pronounce that last name. Lazy.
Number 1.
Oh, you're not gonna say it? That's weird.
This actually happened to my best friend and I 6 years ago.
Right.
And to this day, it sends chills up my spine.
Mm-hmm.
In our early teen years, Will and I were more than a little adventurous. Both of our mothers were teachers at our school, and part of being a teacher's kid is that after the final bell rings on your last day, it's still not summer. You can look forward to one more week of waking up early so that you can help your parent clean up their classrooms and pack up textbooks. It's always boring, and most of the days our mothers were in meetings, so we just ran around an empty school. I remember vividly that it was a Friday, the last day before we could experience our summertime freedom, and Will's older sister, Stephanie, had also...
Anybody ever realize, no matter how well you know your school, if you're there alone or pretty much there's not that many people there, but you're there, you ever realize how creepy it is? I mean, you can be going to the same school for years, right? But like, man, there's just something about being alone in a big open space. What's the name of this title? What's the name of this video? 3 scary real encounters in the middle of nowhere. Okay, so is this school in the middle? Wow, it better not be in the middle of nowhere. This school better not be in the middle of nowhere. If it is, already, all 3 stories clocking up.
Come to help pack up her mum's classroom. The 3 of us had been playing manhunt while our parents were in meetings.
Manhunt? What?
Will told us that he wanted a smoke. We were 15, and Stephanie was 17.
Mm-hmm.
But they'd both been smoking for a couple of years now.
Oh, wow.
I'm the daughter of a lifetime smoker, so I opted out. We walked to the adjacent middle school football field, then past an open fence and into a wooded clearing that was the usual hangout for kids skipping class.
Wow. Wow. You should have... Wow. You should have been like... We entered a wooden... A wooden clearing. You should have been like, we entered a wooden clearing where it was the usual hangout spots for kids to get clucked up in. Just saying. It's some mother clucking woods. Bitch.
I need to interject the story here to tell you that I'm from Florida.
Okay.
And rural Florida is nothing like the postcards of tanned beauties and flamingo skyscrapers. My hometown only exists because someone developed a way to make semi-livable land out of a swamp. So, Will, Stephanie and I are sat on the outskirts of this clearing as they smoked, until we decided it would be fun to go for a walk in the woods. Will swore that there was a river that you could go swimming in.
That's the war you clucking up.
We walked for about 15 minutes. And that's when I realized we hadn't even considered finding our way back.
15 minutes walking into the woods, you deep as hell in the woods. You know how long 15 minutes is? It's a long time. For anything. You know? Taking a test, 15 minutes. Way too long. You know? You just clocked in at work. You've been working for 15 minutes. Way too long. Right? You clocking on the bed 15 minutes. That's not long, just saying.
Rural Florida looks the same. Oak trees with Spanish moss, palmettos, and pine needles. None of us had thought about leaving a trail.
I did.
I took out my phone to call my mother, but there was no signal.
Obviously, goddamn.
I suggested that we go back, since we hadn't told anyone about where we were, and it was getting to that mid-afternoon thunderstorm time. They agreed that we should turn around, and we thought that we had. It turns out, Stephanie has no sense of direction, and she led us deeper into the forest.
You suck.
We were walking for about 30 minutes.
Wow. Wow. So add 30 minutes to what, 15? What's that? 45? 45 minutes into the woods. Oh, no, you're deep. There's no way of getting out there now. It's not. It's not. Now it's about to be dark as hell. 45 minutes of you walking into the woods. There's no, you're too deep in. You're not getting out. I mean, even if you do, it's going to be by the skin of your teeth. Best believe that.
Realized how lost we were. Nothing looked familiar, but at the same time, everything did.
What?
The same flora and fauna we had seen when we entered surrounded us, and I quickly formed a plan. Still to this day, I'm the only one who's worth a damn in an emergency. I thought that if we could find another open space, we could signal for help, or maybe even get a phone signal.
Or get hooked up?
We walked for 30 more minutes.
What's that? What's 30 plus what? 45? What's that? What, 75? 5, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's 75 minutes, but 60 minutes in an hour, so it's like, was that hour and 15 minutes of you walking into the woods? Hadouken.
Before we saw a hunting tree stand, which was more than odd. By this point, I knew that we had crossed over into the national park behind our school.
Wow.
And hunting was strictly forbidden. More walking, less talking. We were dehydrated, hungry, and bleeding from going straight through a field of palmettos.
Wow.
Will was the first one to see the cages. At least
I thought he was about to say Will was the first one to get clocked up. I put on moms. I thought he was about to say that. Wow, my imagination is just all in this popcorn.
20 of them. Huge metal cages with hatches propped open by sticks. Stephanie suggested it was for catching wild boars, but none of us had ever seen or heard of any boars around town. Some of the cages had dried blood around them, and one looked as though it had been kicked hard from the inside.
Damn.
The entire time that we were lost, Will had been trying to call his dad. Still no signal, so no luck. My flip-flops were broken, so I was now barefoot and bleeding pretty badly from the palmettos. We needed to take a break, and I sat on a log while Will went around, holding his Nokia Razor up in the air.
Nope. No. No, bitch. So I think was it like one of the first rules you ever learned when you're born is if you anywhere and you got a group of y'all, that's a group of y'all, alright? No matter how small the group is, you'll be on you and somebody else, like you and like 15 people. Right? No matter how big or small the group is that you're with, you don't ever split up. Again, you don't ever split up. Don't separate. Don't do nothing. Don't break off. Don't do nothing. Don't slip out. Don't do nothing. Pause. That was weird. I don't know why I said that word, slip. You know? Especially in a situation like this. Y'all stay the hell together. Y'all act like some glue and get stick together. Like, you need to... No. Don't separate. Please don't separate. And I also see like a pond? Or just a puddle? Am I the only one that thinks... I forgot what movie that was. It was a scary movie. But because of the scary movie I seen, am I the only one that thinks oh, that I'm about to die because it's popcorn? Am I the only one that thinks that whenever they see like a body of water, like a pond, or a lake, or a pool, probably the ocean, or just a puddle? Am I the only one that thinks that if you fall or step foot into that body of water, it's just endless? It's just gonna keep on. You just gonna keep on drowning and drowning and drowning. Like, it's no end to it. I may be the only one, but I mean, whenever I see puddles or like a body of water, I try my best to avoid it. But maybe that's me. Oh no.
To get a signal. He left our sight for maybe 10 minutes.
10 minutes too long.
When I heard him scream. Stephanie and I sprinted towards where we heard the scream come from.
I would have did the opposite.
But I froze when we saw two men. One was about 60, with white blonde hair that hung down to his shoulders and a weather-beaten face.
Ew.
He was covered in dirt, and the denim shirt he was wearing was shredded to bits.
Ew.
The other was about 20, and he looked as though he had just left his job at a cubicle. A button-down white shirt and nice pants. They weren't wearing shoes, and they were both crouching. These two men were just squatting and looking directly at us, their arms limp and dangling, close-lipped smiling. They stayed like that for what felt like hours.
Sus.
My body's fight or flight kicked in.
Sus.
And I guess mine chose fight. I crouched down too, and I stared them down.
I'll crouch down too. You know, I crouch down too. Right? And I got the fuck. I mean, clock. Only time you see me crouching is when I'm about to haul it.
After what I guessed was maybe 3 minutes, the older man stood up and ran into the woods.
Wow.
And the younger one followed him. Will re-emerged from the woods not long after,
Separate.
hysterical. He was crying hard. He asked me repeatedly why we hadn't come when he screamed, and I tried to explain that we couldn't because of those two men.
Yeah. Well, I was in your situation, and he said, "Why didn't you come when I was crying out for help?" Bitch, don't you know? Whenever we in the woods, whenever we leave from a safe environment, from a safe place, like a school, or your house, or anywhere safe, and we step foot outside, especially in some woods, don't you know, player? Don't you know, my brother? That is every man and woman for themselves. So when you were crying out for help, I was literally about to haul ass until old girl said I shouldn't. Because best believe I was crouching and ready to go. Talking about why you come and save me. Bitch. What?
When he finally seemed to understand what I was saying, he stopped crying and went silent. We walked for another 20 minutes in dead silence when I saw pavement. We had finally run into civilization, a bike trail that runs through the national park to be exact. I had never been so excited to see asphalt. We found signal and called our parents, and we sat on the ground and cried together. It had only been 4 hours, but it had felt like days. My mother brought me a huge jug of water and yelled at me for running into the woods, but she was just relieved that I was okay. I told her about the two men, and she thought that warranted telling the police, so I wrote my statement and that was the end of it. I never heard anything from the cops. About 2 weeks later, Will was over at my house playing video games when he brought up the subject of the woods.
Why?
He told me that he hadn't seen the two men.
Okay.
When he was searching for a signal, he heard pine needles being crunched underfoot, and it sounded as if something was bounding at him, so he hid. He didn't even look behind him. He just hid behind a fallen tree. The noise stopped, and he stood up to come back to us, when he saw a woman crouching about 15 feet away from him. She had dry blood in her hair and all over her shirt. That's when Will screamed, and she stared at him until she turned around and ran into the woods. To this day, I don't think anyone's ever found them, and I refuse to step foot into that park.
Or woods ever again.
In the description below is an image taken from Google Maps, where the original poster has estimated the distance that they covered. The red is approximately where they think they ran into those people. Number 2.
I thought, stop, please say the
This
title.
happened to myself and a close friend, both 23-year-old males, just last month.
Okay.
We decided to go on a 2-night backpacking and camping trip in the Adirondack Mountains of New York.
Right.
We're both very comfortable with nature and spend a lot of time camping, hunting, fishing, etc.
Yeah. I love nature as much as the next person, but yo, I'm not about to be out camping. I'm not about to be out in the woods. I'm not about to be out there in nature for like for like hours on end. Like, I'm definitely not for days. Because you do got some other cluckers that just be camping for days. Like, you got to be clucked up. Nope. No, you got it. Like I said, I love nature as much as the next person. Probably not as much as these people in this story. But I love nature as much as the regular person loves nature. But I'm not about to do what they doing. I'm not about to just be out there for God knows how long. Like, no, that's how you get clucked up.
We hiked about 5 miles into a small lake and set up camp on a small beach. This was far from a heavily trafficked area, and we didn't expect to run into anyone. Our first night there, as we were sitting around the fire, we saw a flashlight moving on the other side of the lake at around 10:30.
Hey, see that, right? All right, it's time to wrap it up. Because I thought we was the only mother cluckers here, but apparently not. I thought we was the only mother cluckers here, but apparently not. And that light is getting a little bit closer with each second that passes. So I suggest we wrap this up, and we get the hell on. Cause I'm not playing these games like I barely didn't want to come with you, but you my man, right? And you know we both gotta do this on, so it's like, hey, I mean we good, so. Well, nah, that flashlight is getting closer and closer with each second that has passed, and it currently is passing. So let's go, wrap it up. Come on. That's exactly what they should have did, but nah, they want to play games and shit.
This was fairly unusual. However, we didn't think too much of it.
We need to.
But as time went on, this flashlight kept moving around the lake, getting closer to our campsite. We kept discussing who could possibly be wandering around the woods in the middle of the night, and we didn't particularly want any unwelcome guests. Once it was clear that the person or people were heading to our campsite, we moved off into the woods nearby to see who wandered up. I took a small axe with me, and my friend had a .22 rifle.
All right.
Now, we weren't expecting trouble, and we certainly didn't want to make any, but we figured we might as well cover our bases. Now, the moment of truth. The flashlight comes near the light of our fire, and it's one man. He has a beard, and is probably in his mid-40s.
40s?
The scary part was that he was carrying what turned out to be a pump-action shotgun.
Oh, damn.
He walked around the campsite a few times, and then proceeded to enter our tent.
Wow.
After rummaging around for a minute or so, he came out and started yelling, "I know you're out there.
He crazy.
Why don't you come and say hello?" My friend and I remained motionless under the hemlock tree about 50 yards away. That's when the man proceeded to fire his shotgun into the woods, not too far from where we were hiding. He also swung his flashlight around several times. After what felt like hours, he grabbed my friend's backpack and a few articles of clothing we had drying off near the fire and threw them in to burn. My friend, who had trained his .22 on the man, asked me if he should shoot. I told him absolutely not, unless he spots us and starts to point the gun in our direction. Thankfully, the man left the way he had come after only a little while. We waited until his flashlight was on the other side of the lake. Then we ran out, grabbed everything we could fit into my pack, and took off. This was now around 2 or 3 in the morning.
Oh, damn.
We ran out the trail with our flashlights,
Prime time.
and we made it back to my car as the sun was coming up.
Prime time.
We immediately went to the police department and reported it, where we also spoke with some forest rangers. That was it. I haven't heard anything back from the police. It wasn't mysterious. However, it creeped the hell out of both of us.
Are Forest
Number
Rangers,
3.
again, you're not saying the title, are Forest Rangers
12 year.
like mall cops in the context that they don't really do shit? Because, I was out with my family last year. We was in we were on some trail, and I saw a snake, live snake, kind of small, but a snake is a snake. I got to cluck out of there, right? Well, all of my family did, but I was, first. All that, right? But like when it was, because when we were running, we decided to just leave the whole area. But before we left, I told the forest rangers that, hey, there's a snake out there, and it was like, okay, what? That bitch can bite somebody. That bitch could be poisonous. You don't know. All I said, there's a snake out there. You don't know. Talking about what? So that makes me believe that forest rangers are the same as mall cops in terms that they don't really do nothing at all. They may look like they do something. They don't do nothing. Well,
when I was 16, I had just started seeing my significant other.
okay.
Being young and in love and the child of Catholic parents, I would sometimes organize to meet my significant other in the middle of the night at a park halfway between my house and theirs.
Tell you what. If my significant other came at me with some bullshit like that, talking crazy like that, hey, we should meet up in the middle of the night at a park, dark as hell. I'm ending the relationship right then and there. Because I told you, off bucks when we first met. My name is Marcus. I'm outgoing. I love people. I like to help people. I'm somewhat educated. Educated, not educated. Right, but yeah. And I don't take no bullshit. I don't play no games. And you just hit me with, we should meet in the park late at night, in the middle of the night, dark as hell, with only one street light. We breaking up right then and there. I'm not even, you can go ahead and meet me out there. I'm not gonna go out there. I'm gonna pretend like I just did not get that text. And I'm sleeping. I'm staying asleep. You can be out there alone. I don't care what the hell happens to you. You should not be out there alone. Unless you were trying,
I would wait until everyone in my house had fallen asleep, and then quietly climb out of my bedroom window and, with the help of some tunes, power walk through 2 suburbs to get to the park. I was on my way home after one such midnight tryst at about 3 in the morning, when it started to rain. No matter, I was so high on life after spending the last few hours with my future partner that this only lifted my spirits even more. Between the park and my house, there are about 3 kilometers of suburbs. The houses are nice, the gardens well groomed, and the streets well lit. So, all in all, I used to feel fairly safe wandering around at night.
But you're not though.
However, the only road home went through a small valley, with patches of bush on either side. I'm talking the Australian kind of bush. Tall, slender gum trees with bark hanging like sheets of skin.
Wow.
And patches of deep, inscrutable brush.
Wow.
The streetlights stopped at the top of each side of the valley, so the deepest stretch of road was only indirectly lit with dim light from above. Walking through the valley, I always had a little ball of apprehension fizzing away in my guts. But mind over matter, right?
Nah, hell no.
This night, however, because of the rain, I was jogging where I would usually walk, and I had my hoodie up and my headphones in. It wasn't until it was too late to avoid taking the turn into the valley that I realized there was a figure standing in the middle of the footpath. The shock of it slowed me down. And my mind started racing. Shit. This is why you shouldn't be wandering around in the middle of the night.
Yeah, no shit. Your mind doesn't need to be racing. Your feet need to be moving so you can be racing, so you can be hauling, so you can be kicking rocks, so you can give the person that's in the sus, person that's in the back, the dust, the smoke from your Adidas. If you see somebody later, if he's, man, in that situation, you should have just like stopped right there and man, I don't know, cause I would say stop, turn around and haul ass, but you don't know what the sus mother clucker has on his feet. He could have Adidas, he could have Vans, he could have Jordan, he could have Nike. You don't know, you know? Or you could have noticed him, stopped dead in your tracks, and hauled ass backwards. So you're still looking at him, you know? You're hauling ass like backwards, which is, I don't really know, because you don't know what's going on behind you. Pause. So it's like, basically, you're kind of I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. So, I mean, things tend to slip out. You know, curse word tends to slip out every now and then. Sometimes I do it on purpose. Sometimes I don't. You know? But, yeah, man. So, you're basically clucked. That's like a 50-50 right here. Your girlfriend... She be lucky if she see you tonight. I would say, I don't know what kind of Adidas you have on, but if you got on what is it, the Adidas 3000s that allow you to teleport? Yeah. If you got those on, you don't got nothing to worry about.
Calm your shit. It's probably just someone having a nice stroll.
I wasn't expecting him to say that.
In the rain. In a suit.
Sus.
It was a man wearing a dark, expensive-looking three-piece suit. All he was holding was a brown leather bag. Slowly but surely, my brain is convincing my automatic nervous system that there is something really, really wrong with this situation.
That's your mother clucking gut.
It's 3 a.m. Why is he just standing there, in a suit, in the rain? He doesn't even seem to care about it. Why doesn't he have an umbrella? Why is he just watching me getting closer?
Why are you asking all these mother clucking questions when you can be using that time to haul ass? Maybe you can ask those questions as you're hauling ass, but you're not. You're asking those questions as you're standing right the hell here. Like, what are you doing? Come on, man. You cluck it. You deserve to get clucked up.
It seems like he wants something.
Pause.
Oh shit, you're too close. It's fine. Just act normally.
What?
Keep jogging. I'm about 6 meters away when he raises his free hand to stop me. I never realized just how strong social norms are until that moment.
Zoom past him.
I slowed down and I stopped.
Why?
Because that's what you do when someone asks you to.
Yeah. That's true. But you don't do that when you're in the middle of the night, dark as hell, no other surroundings, raining, a sus guy in a suit, waving at you, hey, slow down. No, mother clucker. I'm not. I'm speeding the hell up. I'm zooming right past you. What are you talking about? You know. You may, somebody asks you to stop and slow down, right, during daylight, and there's other people around, okay, I can do that. But I'm not about to stop and slow down in the middle of the night. And you acting real sus? There's a couple of red flags coming off of you. You want me clocked up if you think I'm gonna stop, let alone slow down. I'm zooming right past you, like, wow, what?
Even when your whole being is screaming at you that something is not right. You idiot, I thought to myself. As I pull out my earphone, he asks me, in a soft, almost feminine face utterly devoid of expression, do you know a house with a blue front door?
What the hell?
Because I haven't been in the area for very long.
What?
I need to find it.
No, you don't.
Sorry, I don't know any place like that.
Keep going.
How do I get to a main road?
Okay, up there,
I
motherfucker.
think to myself, how the fuck did you get here? I tell him, the main road is that way. As we've been talking, my eyes have slowly adjusted to the light. I'm looking at his face, and there's something dripping out of his nose.
Ew, pause.
There is blood dripping from his nose and down his face. By this stage, I have that full-blown feeling of horror. You know, the one you get when something is just nope. I'm getting alternate flushes of hot and cold, and tingles in my hands and feet and face. I mumble an apology about needing to go. I put my earphones back in, and I jog away.
You haul it.
I remember thinking, don't let him know you're scared. Don't run too fast. Don't run like prey. All the while, feeling his dead eyes following my progress up the hill. I didn't let myself look back until I had crested the hill and turned a corner. He wasn't there. I never did meet my significant other in the middle of the night again, nor did I ever see the house with the blue door. I've never been able to forget the moment of horror when I realized there was blood trickling out of his nose. I still wonder, what was he doing in the middle of nowhere at 3 a.m., dressed in a suit, just standing there in the rain, bleeding and looking for the house with the blue door?
3 a.m., huh? That's prime time for paranormal time.
Hi guys, Lazy here, and thank you very much for listening.
Say your last name.
I don't really have much to say this time, other than make sure to check out Anthony's artwork by following the links in the description below. Stay spooky, and remember, the best things happen in the dark.
No, the hell they don't. The last guy, the last story, his gut kept telling him on a number of times, several times, that, hey, these are red flags. This person that you're about to interact with is sus. You should definitely haul ass. You should definitely not pay him no mind. You should definitely not give him no eye contact, no form of communication, no nothing. You should just act like you don't see him and just haul ass. You need to turn that jogging into running. Cause what's the transitions? You got like what? Slow walking, medium, I guess like regular walking. Then you got speed walking. Then you got jogging. Then you got sprinting. Then you got running. Then you just got hauling ass like. Story 3, that guy definitely takes the cake out of all the stories in this video. How did you... I would say I bet he listened to his gut now, but I don't know if he did, because it's like his gut was trying to talk to him, but he just ignored his gut the whole time. Cause like you can't really do anything else. You can't really help nobody else any further. They're not even going to help themselves. I can't believe he said that, yo. Like, I mean, it is. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Common courtesy or whatever. When when somebody's waving you down, you slow down, or you come to a complete stop and see what they want. Okay, I understand that, right? I do that, but I don't do that when it's in the middle of the night, dark as hell, raining, and you have on a suit with no umbrella. Red flags, literally, and within one sentence, multiple red flags. That's crazy. So clucky you and everybody in story number 3. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I didn't even expect the old girl to leave. I thought old girl was still gonna be at the park. But, hey, maybe she was wearing Adidas. Nah. Never mind. She wasn't, because Adidas would have never told her, "Hey, I should meet up with my boyfriend in the middle of the night, dark as hell." Nah. She must have been wearing like some Nike or something. Definitely not Adidas. Some yeah. But store number 3, you got nah, you got it. You're a dumbass. Keep it cool, keep it class. I love you. Stay happy, my family.